comes to deposit adjudications, previously, before we were using Infuma, our inspection reports, as I've said, were many pages and not very neat. And we were actually noticing that deposit claims that went to ADR, or Alternative Dispute Resolution, we were actually starting to lose some claims, and it was noted that our evidence really wasn't good enough. And that's what brought us to looking at the Infuma software. Fast forward to now, so we're used to using the software and the website. We've done a statistical check, and since using Infuma, we have not lost an ADR case, which is fantastic. We are really happy with that. We are confident when we submit all that evidence in the envelope via the solicitor for the DPS that it's got everything in there. You know, it's GPS logged, where the photos were taken, time, date stamped, it's always signed by the tenant and us, and it's got plenty of notes in there, lots of information, and it's clear for the ADR team to review. That's one thing that was very important. You can give a lot of evidence to the ADR team, but if you don't make it nice and clear for them to absorb it, it's going to make it a confusing case and take longer to resolve. Infuma reports lay it all out nicely, clearly indexed. It's unequivocally true because of the GPS date logging, etc. And yeah, so we haven't lost an ADR case since. And on the flip side, we're also finding that when we get a checkout inspection report using the Infuma app, if we mail it to a tenant straight away and say, look, there's some clear pictures of some damage or some cleaning that is required, invariably they are willing to just release the money to us straight away. They know there's no point contesting it because it's actually documented in a very clear fashion. So we're actually minimising how many ADR processes we go through as well, which is, we're working with the deposit system, but we're actually working to stay out of the ADR process, and it frees up more time, and time is the most valuable thing. The one thing I'd like to share with other letting agents is, if you do not document the condition of the property at the beginning, during and at the end of the tenancy, there is a very high chance you will lose any deposit claim you make on behalf of your landlord in all good faith. If you don't have that documentation in place, the statistic is about only 18% of those letting agents or landlord clients will win their deposit claims. So that's basically 82% of claims are failing because they do not have enough evidence. It's a simple process, it costs pounds, and the nice thing is, when you've done your inspection report for a check-in or for a check-out, it's the one true thing that will tell a landlord you've been there, you've done your job. And there's nothing else that can reaffirm that to a landlord. So it's the proof of the pudding, basically, that you've done your job and you've been there and done what you needed to do.